Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Rochelle, the Real Life Carnivore. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to like this video. Today, I'm going to be talking about carnivore and pregnancy. And is it safe? I get this question all the time. Is it actually safe for me to be carnivore and to be pregnant? Well, I'm not a doctor and I don't claim to be one. I can tell you from my own personal experience what I have found and what I have seen in other women who have decided to go carnivore during their pregnancy, before their pregnancy, or to get pregnant. So these are just my observations. These are just things that I have seen. They are not medical advice in any form at all. So please do not take this as medical advice. If you are considering a carnivore pregnancy or even a keto pregnancy, I encourage you to talk to your healthcare provider, reach out to some experts, do your research. So I have been carnivore for just over a year. And in this time, I have learned so much. I have observed so much. I'm a part of a great community. I'm going to share the link below. It is for the Steak and Butter Gang. If you are not a part of this community and you want community, you want to learn about carnivore, you want to know how it can change your life, you want to learn how it can change your life, please join us. We have a free community and we also have 30-day challenges, which are amazing. I'm a big challenge person. I love a good challenge. So if you are the same and you like to challenge yourself, I encourage you to check it out. Bella is amazing. The team is amazing. Love the community, love all of the members. We would love to have you there. Okay, so back to talking about, is carnivore safe for pregnancy? Here are some of the observations that I have made personally in my own practice, in my own carnivore journey, and through clients. What I have observed is that when women are carnivore or even keto, they tend to have a better blood glucose. So their blood glucose stays more level. It doesn't spike and drop, spike and drop, spike and drop, spike and drop. So they're not having a dump of insulin with a spike of glucose, which is very good because we want to keep things nice and consistent for the baby. Something else that I've noticed is that their mood regulation seems to be a lot better. This goes beyond pregnancy and just outside of pregnancy altogether. I find people who do carnivore tend to have really great mood regulation. When stressful things come up, they seem to be able to handle it much more easily. And this is me speaking from my own experience. Previous to carnivore, little things would come up and they would just kind of like, oh, I would just kind of panic and freak out a little bit. And now I'm just like, okay, I can assess this because my body is nourished. My brain is running on ketones, which is the primary fuel source for your brain. Not sure if you knew that. I just learned this. Ketones are your brain's primary fuel source. Glucose is the secondary. Your body will actually produce glucose and feed your brain glucose if it's not getting to ketones. So ketones are the optimal food source and primary food source for your brain. So just wanted to share that little tidbit of information. Some other things that I have observed, women who do carnivore or keto pregnancies tend to not gain weight as quickly. So it's not that they don't gain weight. I'm still gaining weight. I'm currently gaining about a pound a week, which is exactly what I need to be gaining. My appetite is very regular. It's very consistent. I don't have really any cravings for anything except for certain meats. So craving chicken tenders, I just make homemade chicken tenders. If I'm craving lamb, I make lamb. If I'm craving beef, I make beef. If I'm craving dairy, I eat dairy. Whatever those cravings are, I assess what they are, what they mean, I research them, and then I consume. Since entering my second trimester, I have not had any non-carnivore foods. I just don't crave them. I look at them and I'm like, I'm not interested. And that was something that I never thought would be possible previous to carnivore. If you know my story, you know that I was a restrictive binge eater, and you can check out the full story by clicking the link here. I will link this story for you. Back to, is carnivore safe for pregnancy? Again, back to my observations. I have had little to no pregnancy symptoms. I'm not saying that that's normal, but traditionally, when you talk to women who are pregnant, a lot of women don't feel good when they get pregnant. And I feel really encouraged and very blessed that I have felt amazing throughout my pregnancy. And I wish all women could feel as good as I feel during pregnancy. I don't have any real aches and pains other than things that were caused from like previous accidents. I sleep really well, despite having to get up to pee quite frequently. I'm still able to work out, which is amazing. And this is something that I have looked into often. And it's actually in a lot of books that you read about pregnancy and prenatal care, making sure that you're working out and exercising. Not only is it good for you, but it's actually good for the baby. It's good for the fetus, which I think is really encouraging too. So apparently, and this is what I've heard, you guys can drop me some comments if you think that this is true or not, or if you agree with me or not. But I've heard that when you work out during your pregnancy, it actually makes your labor easier. Now, I don't know if that has something to do with the fact that your body's used to that kind of like physical stress, which labor is considered a physical stress, or if it has something to do with like appropriate breathing techniques, if it has something to do with like oxygenating your system, whatever it is, I feel great. Why wouldn't I do it? I'm formerly a national athlete. I used to compete in figure competitions, which is a part of a bodybuilding community when I lived back in Canada, and I destroyed my system. But working out is just a part of my life. It's just a part of my routine. And so getting pregnant, I did have to slow down a little bit just because the tired and the fatigue and the recovery and that sort of thing. But it hasn't been significant. It hasn't been a significant slowdown. The biggest slowdown for me actually with working out was actually when I went carnivore. I, for whatever reason, have that body physique that just hyper responds to change. And when I went carnivore, my body started hyper responding to change by building muscle. And I was like, this is amazing. And most people would probably love this and freak out about this. But for me, like I'm already very, very muscular. So for me, adding on to more muscle and building more muscle, I was like, okay, this is great, but I don't want to build it at this speed and this capacity. So that was my slowdown period for me. Now getting pregnant, again, like I mentioned, being a little bit more tired, needing a little extra time to recover and that sort of thing. So I've gone from working out 5 to 6 days a week down to 2 to 3 max weight training, specifically weight training. I exercise every single day. I walk every day. I ride my recumbent bike every day. Sometimes I do like little sprint intervals on my recumbent bike, or I'll do like a fast walk, slow walk, fast walk, slow walk, just to kind of mix things up. Our bodies like change. They don't like for us to do the exact same thing every single day. Nature is just naturally likes change and fluidity, if you will. I mean, if you ask me, I think carnivore is safe. Again, I'm not a doctor. That's the caveat. But all of the research that I've done has indicated that this way of eating is super beneficial for the baby. It is the most nutrient-dense way that you can eat to nourish your body and your baby, which is super encouraging. If you have cravings, those cravings are signals that you probably need something, perhaps a micronutrient. So if you're craving strawberries, you may not be getting enough folate, which could mean that you need to supplement, or it could mean that you need to eat small amounts of liver, but be cautious with liver when you're pregnant because vitamin A, you don't want to have too much vitamin A. I personally supplement with folate, methylfolate, D3K2, and magnesium, and then electrolytes. The only reason why I supplement with the magnesium and the electrolytes is just because of how much water I drink, how hot and humid the climate is where I live, and just my electrolytes just seem to get depleted very easily because my blood volume is twice what it was before I conceived, and I just get leg cramps and they're really painful. Other than that, pretty much smooth sailing for me. I want to give a shout out to Element electrolytes. You guys, these are my jam. They are my go-to. I have actually quite a few recipes using and incorporating these electrolytes that are carnivore based. So if you want to check those out, you can go to Real Life Carnivore i.refs.cc and check out my recipes there. I love the raw unflavored element electrolytes. I do have some flavored ones here. When you're making some of my recipes, like maybe electrolyte jello, you may want to have a flavor. You may enjoy it raw like I do. However, my husband enjoys the flavors. So show you these little boxes that they came in, and they are little individual pouches. This is a citrus flavor. They're awesome. They have 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. I love their electrolytes. They are not super sweet, and sometimes I add a little extra salt to them just because I just need a little extra salt. Stay salty, friends. The other thing that I've noticed with carnivore pregnancies and just with women who've been carnivore or ketovore during their pregnancy is that they don't have a lot of swelling and edema, which is really nice, because when your feet swell up or your legs swell up, it can be really painful. Something else that I've noticed is, like, I've heard that pregnancy brain is a thing. I have that every now and again where just like I just don't remember stuff. I don't know if that's going to increase, decrease, or stay the same, but I'm curious to find out. So I'm really looking forward to meeting this baby. It's super, super healthy. It's growing at a perfect rate. I have no qualms about my pregnancy. I have no issues with blood sugar spikes, with crashes. Again, like I said, just a little bit of tiredness at the beginning, and second trimester, same thing. Whenever I need a nap, I just take a nap. My general consensus, again, I'm not a doctor, but my general consensus is carnivore is safe for pregnancy. Again, I'm not a medical doctor. Do not take this as medical advice. If you choose to have a carnivore or keto pregnancy, that is totally your call, but take it up with your healthcare practitioner as well. Also, don't hesitate to check out Dr. Ken Berry's video on carnivore pregnancy, because he does a great job of breaking it down and just discussing, what kind of diet is typically recommended for pregnant women and why it's not optimal. So the reason why I personally believe that carnivore or ketovore is optimal is because, again, it's the most nutrient dense way that you can eat. You're less likely to have nutrient deficiencies. It's very satiating, very satisfying. Just all around seems like a better way of eating. If you are one who has like food aversions, which that can happen, it happened to me where I was like, well, eggs are a no for me. That's okay. Find things that are going to work for you. One product that I found that was super amazing and super helpful for the first trimester of my pregnancy to make sure that I was getting adequate protein was a Quick Prime protein powder. It is a grass-fed beef isolate. I love it. And yes, this is chocolate flavor. I know chocolate is not carnivore. That's fine. It was a way for me to get protein in and to make sure that my baby was getting the nutrients that it needed. I relied on protein and also their grass-fed collagen. Both of these products are delicious. I love all of them. I make ice cream with them. I make smoothies with them. I stir it into my yogurt. Whatever kind of I'm feeling like eating, this is a way for me to increase my protein, make sure I'm reaching those optimal levels, keeping the baby fed, keeping myself fed, and making sure that I'm meeting my nutrient goals. If you guys are interested in giving this a try, you can get a really beautiful discount by using code Rochelle and receive 15% off at checkout, or you can click the links below. That about wraps it up, friends. I am of the opinion that carnivore and ketovore are safe for pregnancy. But like I said, do your research. This is Rochelle, the Real Life Carnivore. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure having you today. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Drop me a comment. You can find me on Instagram at Real Life Carnivore, or you can find me on my website at reallifecarnivore.com. Bye for now, friends.